Hello, I'm Asha Kirani. I'm a colleger, and now I'm going to do an employment agreement review between John O'Keefe and Verdisys Incorporation. So, the contents of this agreement begin with the effective date of the agreement. It is written that the employment agreement is effective on January 6, 2004 by and between John O'Keefe, the executive, and Verdisys Incorporation, a California company. And then this clauses contains as many as eight agreement clauses. The first one is duties and scope of employment. There are three derivative clauses from this clause. A positions. This point discusses the duties and responsibilities of the executive. That during this agreement, the company agrees to employ the executive as the executive vice president and chief financial officer. And B, obligation to the company. During the employment, the executive must solely dedicate their effort to the company. Civic, charitable, or personal investment activities are permissible if they don't impede company duties. And C, no conflicting obligations. The executive affirms no conflicting obligations, non-disclosure of others' trade secret, and non-violations of others' rights. Clause 2, cash compensation and incentive. There are five derivative clauses from this clause. A. Salary. The company will pay the executive $175,000 annually for the first year and $195,000 for the second and $250,000 for the third. This is termed as a base compensation. B bonus. Executives get a $40,000 one-time bonus and can join a company's executive compensation program with potential annually bonuses of up to 50% of their base compensation. C option. Executive may get stock options under the company's annual program approved by the compensation committee. Initially, they receive options for 80,000 shares vesting quarterly. D. Insurance coverage reimbursement. The company pay executive $394 monthly for health benefits of executive choice. The company is not obligated to provide access to company-sponsored benefits. If offered, the executive can choose to participate without the $394 payment. And e-vacation. During the term of the agreement, the executive is entitled to annual leave in accordance with the company policy, which shall not be less than 4 weeks of paid leaves per calendar year. Clause 3, business expenses or business costs. During the employment, executives may incur travel, entertainment, or other necessary expenses which will be reimbursed by the company in accordance with applicable policies. Executive will also receive a car allowance, $1,000 per month. Clause 4, terms of employment or work period. This clause contains four derivative clauses. A term. This agreement ends 1 year after effective date, unless extended by mutual agreement. It automatically renews yearly unless either party give a 60-day notice of a non-renewal. B. Basic rules. The management's employment is at will, allowing the other parties to end it with a reason. This agreement is complete understanding and only can be modified in writing by both parties. C. Terminations. The company or management may dismiss an executive at any time without reason by giving a written notice. The executive employment ends automatically if the executive dies. D. Rights upon termination. Upon termination by executive, they are only entitled to compensation, benefits, and reimbursement as per Section 23 up to the termination date, except what's stated in Section 5. Clause 5. Termination benefits. This clause contains six derivative clauses. A. General release. Condition B, C, and D do not apply unless the employee has submitted a general release of all claims against the company, and it is affiliate and agreed not to pursue legal action based on such claims. B. Severance pay. If the company terminates the executive without cause, or the executive resigns after constructive termination, the company will pay basic compensations for up to 6 months and reimburse COBRA or equivalent health insurance premium for 6 months. C. Stock options. Stock option equal to severance period will vest immediately and cannot be repurchased, transferred, or replaced by the company or its successors. D. Disability. If terminated due to disability, the executive will receive a prorated payment and benefits until age 65. The disability determined by a doctor or three doctors if disputed. E. Definition of cause. For all purposes in this agreement, cause means first, violations of Section 6 regarding inventions, confidential information, and non-competition agreements. Second, convictions or admissions of the criminal offense. Third, fraudulent acts. Fourth, violation of laws that cause material loss to the company. And fifth, material breaches in employment agreement must be fixed within 30 days of written notice from the company to the employee. F. Definition of constructive termination. Constructive termination in this agreement refers to executive's voluntary resignation within 60 days after first, failure to obtain or retain positions as described in section 1.a. Second, significant reduction in executive duties. And third, changes in executive reporting relationship. And fourth, reduction of basic compensation without approval. Fifth, moving the main workplace over 50 miles without written approval. Sixth, breach of the company's obligations under this agreement. And seven, failure to obtain approval for succession of assets or business. Clause 6. Invention, confidential information, and non-competition agreement. Executive has signed an invention, confidential information, and non-compete agreement with the company attached as Exhibit A. Clause 7. Successor. This clause contains of two derivative clauses. A. Company's successor. This agreement applies to any successor to the company's business or assets, whether direct or indirect, through various methods such as purchase, lease, merger, or liquidations. B. Executive successor. This agreement also applies to executive personal representative, heirs, or legal successor, administrator, executor, distributor, or drafter. Clause 8. Miscellaneous provisions. This clause contains of 9 derivative clauses. A. Notice. Notice must be in writing and sent by the registered post. For the executive, the last address they delivered to the company, and for the companies, address to the secretary. B. Modification and waivers. Modification or waivers of the agreement require written approval from the executives and authorized officers of the company. C. Indemnification or compensation. The company will indemnify the executives against liability and cost in legal action in accordance with applicable provisions. This right remains in effect after termination of employment. The whole agreement. This agreement and the invention, confidential information, and non-competition agreement constitutes the entire understanding of the parties. No other agreements apply. E. Withholding taxes. Payments will be subject to withholding tax in accordance with applicable law. F. Choice of law and severability. This agreement applies in the states of Texas and subject to the local law Involved provisions will be modified or cancelled. G. Arbitrations. Disputes will be resolved through arbitrations in Houston, Texas, per American Arbitration Association rules. The arbitrator's decision is final, with costs split equally. The executive consents to the Court of Texas jurisdiction. H. No assignment. This agreement is non-transferable by the executive and is personal. The company may transfer its rights to the entity that assumes the company's obligations for sales of the assets. I. Counterparts or partner. This agreement may be executed in paired parts, but constitutes one and the same instrument. And closing, in witness whereof each of the parties has executed this agreement, in the case of the company by its duly authorized officer, as of the day and year first above written. Thank you.